Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chishu Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
An alternative to handling marriage contracts that just might help decrease the divorce rate and encourage more people to get married. And I'm curious to know just what you guys think. Brought to you by the Just Pearly Things podcast. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Women. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you? This is Pearl. You're live on the air. What is the solution to modern dating going forward for men and for women?
So I believe in one or two solutions. I think either one, we need to normalize getting married without the state's involvement. That would be my first answer. Or two, if we need the state's involvement, we need to set up license renewals the same way a driver's license needs to be renewed. A gun license needs to be renewed.
That's interesting.
I think marriage license should be renewed. And if you choose not to renew it, you shouldn't need to involve the courts. And both parties should walk away scot-free.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. I've never thought of that. Like a license renewal.
All right, so you guys heard it for yourself. The gentleman who called in to Pearly Show there said we could treat contracts the way we treat other things like driver's licenses, and they would be renewed every, 5 years or something like that. And if a partner does not want to renew that contract, then everyone gets to walk away scot-free. And I'm curious to know what you guys think of that. So this is an open forum discussion. Go and leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I thought this was a very, very interesting video. As always, we're going to check out and see what the internet thought of this idea. First comment says renewal percentage would be low. I bet. Yeah, for sure. And I think probably we might see a shift of men realizing like, hey, this doesn't make any sense, especially if they know they're going to get off scot-free. You might see a situation where men are leaving relationships, maybe not at this exact same rate as women, but a lot more often because they're not being held captive by the consequences of getting the raw end of the deal. Next comment here says, oh, the government will like this. Now they can charge a renewal fee. That is true. They'll tack on fees to that for sure. Another commenter here says, wouldn't a renewable marriage just be a regular relationship? With the question mark, that's what dating people do every day. Laugh out loud. And yeah, but I guess the difference is you're not held to any contract if you're just dating, right? The problem is that contract at the end of the day. Next comment here from another gentleman says, then what does the marriage mean? I don't get it. And somebody responded and says, for me, marriage is saying I want to spend my life with you. But the reality is that people change as they age and sometimes they grow apart. No, 70 to 80% of women change their mind as they age and decide to dip. Another person here says, sounds easy, but there's no scot-free, quotation marks, when there is property, possessions, children involved, etc. Another person here says, marriage is saying I'm not, and I want to talk about that last thing when it talks about the property, possessions, children. I think that's where things get very, very complicated. They obviously have to address a different way that property would be split between the two couples. They'll have to revisit concepts like spousal support. I think that should be also something that's short term. I believe there are a lot of women who are divorced if they knew they wouldn't be getting spousal support for the rest of their lives and thought like, okay, I have 5 years where I'll be receiving spousal support. After that, I'm on my own. They might figure out a way to make that marriage work. Another comment here from another gentleman says, marriage is saying I'm not going to walk away scot-free. And then we have a quick thread here. First comment says, that would encourage divorce and a rise in single mothers. That's what's happening right now. And then someone responded back to that and said, it would be the opposite because women wouldn't be financially rewarded for divorce or single motherhood. There we go. And then the same guy responded back to him and says, I'm sure women don't get married with those intentions. This will encourage young men to marry just for sex. Huh? Bro, what is this guy talking about? Anyways, the other guy responded back to him and says, men used to marry for sex, but once the sex revolution in 60s and BC pill, more women are giving sex away without requiring marriage. That's true, man. You know, at the worst end of it all, you could go pay for it. right? Men aren't choosing to marry for sex today because they know that they could pay for it. I mean, do what you want at the end of the day. There are people out here who want to pay for it, people out here who don't want to pay for it, but people aren't choosing to get married for it. That's a fact. And the final comment here says, this is already happening. I went to a CLE and they talked about the future of marriage is contract marriage. That's interesting because if you're able to customize that contract, then things may be different. Things may change, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. Comment down below. As always, appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.